From my informal research, Christian dating should last anything between 1 and 2 years. This seems to be the sweet spot. What do you think? Let me know on the comment section. But there's a bishop in America, one Bishop Noel Jones, who proposed to his girlfriend after almost 2 decades. Can you believe that? 2 decades, as in 20 years. He did this on January 30. So I'm not talking about something that happened long time ago, very, very recently. But despite the risks and the dangers involved or associated with long-term dating, his girlfriend Loretta waited for almost 20 years. Man, if it was you, would you have waited? Let me know on the comment section. So the big question in this video is, how long should you date before marriage? And this is the question that I wanna attempt to answer in this video. So God help me. Hey, Pastor Cliff here, and this is the Bishop and Kingdom Lifestyle. And in this particular segment, the Kingdom Lifestyle segment, I share what we can learn from the lives of other Christians. Maybe simple men and women, or celebrities, influencers, all those people. When we get something, I am able to just jump on that and share something that can be able to move us to another level. And that's why in this video, I wanna look at how long should you date before marriage. Ideally, the length of dating, the time that you take to date, depends on the two of you. So if you want to date for 100 years, that's okay. If you want to date for 1 hour, that is even 1 minute, that is okay. It depends on the two of you. And to make matters worse, the Bible does not address the subject of dating directly. And the reason why it does that is because it has already addressed the two things that are before dating and after dating. So it will address being single, and it will also address marriage. But the transition there, the Bible does not deal with that matter. And therefore, it is left for you and your person to be able to, decide how you want to take things. But from research that I have carried out, 1 to 2 years, like I've already said, seems to be the duration of time that it takes to know if your partner is Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. And in these 1 to 2 years is the time where you'll sufficiently have worked on your friendship. So I want you to note friendship and your intimacy, those two things, so that you will be ready then for marriage. So when you're working on your friendship, the first aim is to become best of friends. So again, I don't believe you can take 130, 10 years to be best of friends. And so it is important, therefore, to just take a sufficient amount of time to you and your partner, so that you can be able to nurture the friendship that you have. Because in nurturing that friendship, then you will be able to enhance the communication that you have between yourselves. And the second thing that you'll be able to do is to resolve conflicts in a better way. And personally, I believe 1.5 years is good for that. So friendship and that kind of thing, within 1.5 years or even less, you should be able to deal with that matter conclusively and become best of friends. Now, being best of friends is a very good thing, because you need, you're moving into a marriage that I believe the Christian marriage is not about divorce. So you're moving in there, and the idea is to become friends for life. And so that's that duration, 1 to 2 years, gives you good time for you to be able to gain a better perspective of your partner. And at the end of this duration that you are taking to develop friendship, you should have come up to an agreement as far as religion is concerned, religious beliefs. And I'm talking about Christianity, because Christianity is more than the name, the label Christianity. I can say I am a Christian, but in real sense, I am not a Christian. So the at the end of working on your friendship, at least you have an agreement as far as the things Christian are concerned, and also other worldviews, so that you can be able to even have the roles that you're going to play clearly defined. That when we get into this marriage, I'm going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that, and then together we are going to be doing all this and that, and that's how we're gonna, run our households. When we talk about, so I've said 1.5 years good for friendship, and then now that leaves about 6 months. So the final 6 months of the 2 years, if you go to 2 years, that is suitable for premarital counseling. So what I'm also saying, in other words, is within this period, you should have at least engaged, so that now you're working towards settling down. So it's not 1 to 2 years, so that now you now again start thinking, do I engage on all that? So the first 1.5 years, the first 1 year is sufficient for you to be able, even the first 6 months is sufficient for you to be able to know the other person, and then you can start working on the modalities of officiating, formalizing your relationship. And premarital counseling is very important because it provides a solid rock solid foundation for your marriage. Many people just go in, they have not discussed how they're gonna do finances, how many children they're gonna have. So you get in there, you are thinking of 10 children, somebody is at 0 children, and it becomes a big challenge. So you need to get there, in there, having an idea, and that's what you're talking about. Part of it begins in, agreeing on basic things at the friendship level. And then after those agreements, now when premarital comes in, the man of God comes in, then he's able to firm up some of those areas, and you are able to be good. So what am I saying in summary? Dating is a temporary transitional stage, and a transition is meant to be a transition. You cannot be in transition forever, because we are talking about moving from being single to being married. It's as simple as that. And when I look at long-term dating, I see the risks that are involved. There are two major risks. The first risk is that your relationship can turn into a convenience. And what does that mean? It simply means that you get to a point that you don't want to start over. And when I look at Loretta, I ask myself, 20 years, you get to a point where, I mean, if this person doesn't propose, well and good. If he proposes, well and good. Because now it's a matter of, where do I go? It's a matter of convenience. The reason why you hang around a relationship is because the other person is throwing hints that this thing is going somewhere. If they're not throwing hints, that you already know this is Mr. Right. So you will hang in there because you have an idea of that. So it becomes a convenience. You don't want to start over, and you just prefer to stick around because it gives you that assurance that something is going to come out of it. But then again, especially for the ladies, it breeds insecurity. The language that you speak to ladies is a language of affirmation. So when we talk about affirmation, it simply means the way they receive, the love language into their system or into themselves involves affirmation. So when we don't do certain things as men, then we don't affirm them, and it creates insecurity in them. And that's what exactly I'm talking about. That is going to breed insecurity, because the relationship tells the lady that this is something, but the reality on the ground tells the lady this is not something. So they are in between that security, insecurity, which becomes insecurity, because a negative and a positive becomes a negative. And so that is a challenge, and it denies, when a relationship becomes a convenience, it denies one person the opportunity to go out there and find something that they can be able to work with. And number two, a long-term dating scenario can facilitate fornication. Oh my God, I had to go there. it can facilitate fornication, because you get to a point you're so comfortable with each other, and naturally any relationship is supposed to grow. It's supposed to move from one lower level to a higher level to another higher level, like that. So as that relationship grows, so that it doesn't plateau, because a relationship is not meant to plateau, then naturally you will find yourself getting into the marriage stuff. So you start doing the things that married people do. And if you start doing the things that married people do, you will not see a reason to get married. And that's what many people find themselves in. When you do a come we stay, you get into a convenience, you get into you emulate marriage, but you are not in marriage, because you've not gotten that blessing from God. And so now you find yourself doing marriage things, but you are not married. There is no commitment, and you've not said I do, and then it becomes a challenge. So it can be tricky as far as that is concerned. You can imagine being on your brakes for 30 years. Take your car, go to a 100-kilometer descent, you're going downhill. Then put on the brakes, because that hill is so steep, you don't want to go fast. And tell me what will happen at the end of the 100 kilometers. Your brakes will be fried, your car may even be fried, things will heat up. 20 years of brakes. 20 years of brakes? Anyway, let me not get there. So, too short a duration will leave you not knowing your partner. You will not get a good perspective. And too long, you will get more than enough. You need also there are some things you need to discover after you've said I do. You don't need to, because they could change your mind, yes, but the way God looks at marriage is totally different. So I believe 1 to 2 years, like the way research puts it, is a good duration, but doesn't stop you from doing 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 5 years, 10 years, 2 months, 1 week, whatever time. You take your time, you're convinced, do this, and stick in there and make your marriage work and involve God, so that your marriage can last the long time. Remember to share this video. Remember to like it. When you do those two things, this video is taken to a larger audience, so that we can be able to pass around solid Christian advice that can be able to help someone out there. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. You can also leave a comment, and we will be able to get back to you. And specifically, asking a very big question: how long did you date? How long would you date if you're going to date? So put your thoughts there, so that I can also gain more insight from you. And the next time we do this, we can be able to do it even much better. So God keep you. God bless you. See you in the next video.